What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? Welcome into another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz. Good morning to you. Live at 7 a.m. Monday through Friday right here on FanStream Sports, the FanStream Sports Dallas YouTube channel, as well as the burgeoning and brand new FanStream Sports Cowboys Daily Blitz channel, our own little home, away from home for the Daily Blitz. Welcome into a Tuesday. Let's talk some Cowboys because we are less than 2 weeks away from arriving in Oxnard. Dak Prescott's already given us billboard material. He's given us headline material. And apparently the slogan for the Cowboys 2026 season as that is, quote, Super Bowl or bust, end quote. And that sounds great. It looks great on paper. It looks great on a graphic. It would look great on merchandise. It will dominate podcasts, radio shows, talk shows. And that probably coming from Dak will even convince at least a small portion of Cowboys Nation that this year really will be different. But before we start planning another championship parade, it's only been since, Bill Clinton's first term? Somebody, so it'll be me here this morning, I guess, needs to ask the uncomfortable question. Are the Dallas Cowboys truly built this year to win the Super Bowl? Or are they once again built to just look like they can? Because the biggest lie surrounding this organization might finally be exposed. The lie isn't that Dallas has talent. Cowboys have plenty of talent. The lie is that having recognizable stars automatically makes this 2026 Cowboys roster a championship roster. And first, let's make something very clear. I get the Super Bowl or bust thing. I get the mentality. I get why Dak said it. I get it. And Dak Prescott was not wrong to say that, because that should absolutely be the standard here in Dallas. It's been the standard. You don't pay a quarterback elite money, surround him with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, and then act satisfied when you sneak into a wild card game. I get it. Dak recently told Cowboys fans that every season in Dallas carries a Super Bowl or bust mentality. And it should. The Cowboys report to Oxnard July 28th with their first practice scheduled for a day later on the 29th. First day in pads is August 3rd. And oddly enough, we're talking championships already. But there's a massive difference between declaring a championship standard and constructing a roster that is capable of pulling it off. And this is where the Cowboys' biggest lie begins. Dallas wants us to look at the top of the roster. Dak, CD, George, Quinnen, Caleb. Big names, big talent, marketable stars. Guys fully capable of producing highlight moments and winning a lot of individual matchups this season. The Cowboys' official roster currently features Lamb and Pickens as its marquee receiving duo, while Dallas has also invested heavily in Williams, traded up to get Downs with the 11th overall pick. And that's great glossy brochure material. But football seasons are not, I guess, dictated by the best 5 players on your roster. They're usually destroyed by the 5 weakest positions on your roster. Position groups that opposing coaches can identify, that they can attack on game day, and that will embarrass you when things matter most. And right now, the Dallas Cowboys still have at least two premium positions that could blow this entire Super Bowl fantasy scenario up. And I feel like I'm talking about it every single day. Dak's blindside. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it now, but it is certainly one of the positions that could derail Super Bowl or bust for the Cowboys in 2026. Tyler Guyton, Nate Thomas. Competition? Fake competition? Real competition? I don't know. We're about to find out. But it's a real I think it's a real competition because that's maybe the most important position on your offensive line, and it's your weakest right now. Brian Schottenheimer publicly said that it's Guyton's job to lose as he enters his third NFL season after being a number one overall pick, and has yet to prove he can stay healthy and that he can stay consistent and that he can handle the job load. Nate Thomas is trying to turn in a performance that, maybe he's better, but he wasn't your number one draft pick. So there's some gray area here. Who do the Cowboys want to win? Do they want to look bad and make their first round draft pick lose the job to just a guy? Or do they really want the best player to win the job so that Dak stays off his butt most of the season? I don't know. That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Because when this offense is humming, Dak's got to have the protection. If Dak doesn't have the protection, this offense is going to look vastly different than we think it can look. The Cowboys don't need their left tackle to become Tyron Smith overnight. They don't need that level of performance right now. But they need somebody who can at least derail the defense's attack on Dak. And if Guyton or Thomas can't do that, the Cowboys could be forced into some very uncomfortable decisions, including possibly moving your star left guard to tackle. And now you're opening up a whole nother hole. All right? There. Blindside, my number one worry. And I believe the number one position that could derail your Super Bowl hopes. Number two, cornerback. Let's move to the other side of the ball. DaRon Bland has already shown he can be an elite playmaker. He set an NFL record with 5 pick sixes back in 2023. It seems like an eternity ago, because it was. Since then, Bland has battled foot problems. He ended last year on IR. Shavon Revel has been terrific when he's available. Coming off of a surgically repaired knee, he says he's 100%. That's encouraging. We'll see. He is still only entering his second year in the NFL after an injury-interrupted rookie year. Kobe Durant brings some experience and a little bit of versatility. He arrived on a short-term deal and is not automatically penciled in here as the shutdown answer opposite Bland. Dallas's own coverage of the position has described a room filled with questions. Bland, Revel, injuries, Durant, young players competing for roles. That's not a sure thing. It's a lot of questions in a very important position. But there's upside to the room. It's not all gloom and doom. You've got a lot of athleticism. So there are possibilities, but how much certainty is here for us? The NFL is a passing league. If you cannot protect your quarterback and you cannot cover opposing receivers, nothing else matters. You're not going to go very far. Philadelphia is not going to look at the Cowboys' depth chart and admire its potential. however high that potential is. NFL offensive coordinators will identify the least proven cornerback. They will isolate him. They will motion a receiver across to him. And they will attack him until Dallas figures out how to make it stop. Christian Parker might become the absolute best defensive coordinator in the history of the NFL. Caleb Downs might become an incredibly special chess piece for Parker. Quinnen Williams might destroy the middle of offensive lines all season long, but a creative scheme can only conceal personnel weaknesses for so long. At some point, somebody's going to have to cover every number one receiver on every opposing team that's out there. Who's it going to be? Somebody's got to win on 3rd and 8 when Quinnen Williams doesn't immediately get to the quarterback. Potential doesn't get the offense off the field. Coverage and stops do. Now, this is what, this is what Dallas has mastered, maybe better than almost any other organization in the history of professional sports. The Cowboys give you enough star power sometimes to make you ignore certain structural flaws in the roster. Jerry Jones does not have to build a perfect roster. He only has to build one exciting enough to keep everybody believing. It's like a magic trick. Hey, look over here at CeeDee Lamb. Look over here at George Pickens. Look at Quinnen Williams in the middle of the defensive line. Look at our brand new, shiny first-round safety right here. And while everybody else is staring at those pieces, they don't spend too much time maybe noticing cornerback depth, left tackle deficiencies. It's Jerry's magic trick. The Cowboys are not talent poor, they're certainty poor. And there's a difference. A championship roster does not have to be perfect, but its most important questions can't all be answered with, maybe this guy takes a step this year. Maybe this guy breaks out. Maybe this guy can stay healthy and become a star. Maybe this guy that's been injured can stay healthy and return to his best form. Maybe our new defensive system can fix everything. Maybe our offensive line can hold together. That is a lot of maybes for a team using the words Super Bowl or bust. So let's be fair, though. There is a legitimate argument that this roster is better and more complete than it was a year ago. I don't know that anybody would debate that it's not. Dallas has a potentially dominant receiving combination. Both players were Pro Bowlers last year, and the Cowboys believe they're among the league's top receiving duos, and they're probably right. The defensive tackle group has been completely rebuilt. Caleb Downs is going to be a stud, we think, giving Christian Parker a huge piece with which to work. And maybe the front office deserves some credit for being aggressive this offseason rather than following its usual bargain shopping strategy. But the team absolutely has a path, I think, to be dangerous this year. But the problem is, dangerous is not the same as dependable. As I destroy my mouse. Dallas could be one of the most explosive teams in the league and still get eliminated because one tackle can't handle an elite pass rusher. The Cowboys could create sacks and turnovers all season and still lose in January because their second or third cornerback gets hunted for 4 quarters. Stars can get you into the postseason. Your weakest links on your roster will decide how long you stay in the postseason. So what's the Cowboys' biggest lie? It's not that this team is bad. It's not that Dak Prescott can't play. And it's not that Jerry Jones has done absolutely nothing to improve the roster, because he has. The biggest lie is the idea that star power equals roster completeness. It does not. The Cowboys are selling a Super Bowl contender. What they really have is a very talented team with championship upsized, but also championship-sized questions. That doesn't mean they're doomed. It means training camp has to provide a bunch of answers, not more promotional material. And that's where we are, boys and girls. What do you think? Are the Cowboys a legitimate Super Bowl contender? Are you drinking the Kool-Aid? Or is Dallas once again selling us a bill of goods against a very, very talented roster? Drop your verdict in the comments. I would love to hear it. That's going to do it for us on this Tuesday morning. You guys have the day that you want to have. And we'll be back tomorrow right here on FanStream Sports with another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz, live 7 a.m. right here on FanStream Sports. Later the same day, wherever you get your podcasts, always on demand at fanstreamsports.com. Until tomorrow, boys and girls, we'll see ya.